So in the world of healing, everything is vibration. So we must understand that everything has a frequency of vibration. Whether it's our emotions, mental states, attitudes, everything is about frequency and vibration. Degrees of light, degrees of energy. And understanding that healing, well-being, has a holistic focus. We are multifaceted, complex beings. So when we're talking about well-being, then it's holistic well-being. So the House of the Bee provides teachings for understanding the multifaceted nature of the human being and the tools for addressing and working at each level and facet of your being for a holistic healing outcome. I'm going to give you some structures, a framework to begin to understand how your soul can actively participate in the game of life and how you can play the game of life with integrity, conviction, and confidence. So, point one, you are a complex, multifaceted being. So, you are more than your physical body. So, if you touch your physical body, we think, oh, this is me. But you are more than your physical body. You are more than your personal feelings and emotions. And you are more than your thoughts and opinions. So those are part of your humanness. Your physical body is part of your humanness. You have to have a physical body. Your soul has to have a physical body in order to incarnate physically. And as part of our human experience, we have emotions and feelings, and we have our own personal thoughts and opinions. But you are more than that. You are a soul on a journey of growth and evolution. And as a soul, you are dealing with the initiations of life. You're learning as you go. So as well as a soul on your journey of growth and evolution, you are also a spirit having a physical journey. So your life is one big initiation from the moment you draw your first breath until the moment you draw your last breath on this earth. So like the Fool on the tarot card, you take a leap of faith into the adventure of your life. Can I have the Fool, please? The tarot key, 0, the Fool. We come from the oneness, and we come in and we come into incarnation, take a leap of faith into the adventure of our life. There's no rule book for us, no guidebook, no map that is easily accessible. But you are equipped with everything you need. You are not alone. You have your allies on the earth and your allies in the heavens that are there to support you every day. The thing is that once we make that leap, we come into incarnation, we take physical form, choose this body, we are faced with a choice. We're at crossroads choice. One, are we going to devolve as a soul? In other words, go backwards. So each lifetime, the soul is here to grow, evolve, and grow, to evolve and grow. There's no guarantee a soul is going to do that. The soul may make choice to devolve, to go backwards. So are we going to devolve as a soul? Or are we going to stay the same as a soul? Very, very high percentage of souls stay the same. They say stationary. There is no growth. It's a choice that soul makes unconsciously. The third choice, are we going to evolve as a soul, which is our divine right to evolve. When we evolve, we are following our destiny. So to grow as a soul, we're going to become more of who we truly are, a reflection of our inner essence, our true self, our monadic self is a term that's used for our true self. So those choices, crossroads, Are we going to devolve, stay the same, or are we going to evolve? Majority of people will go with the lowest common denominator, take the easy choices, be like everybody else, try and fit in. If that's the choice, then you're likely to devolve, go backwards on your evolutionary journey, or at the very least, stay the same. So, I mean, very few souls actually evolve to maximum capacity. Many souls are just treading water or managing to stay afloat in life, but not striking out for their destiny. Many people stay with the lowest common denominator. If we use the symbology of they're trying to be a duck, when in fact they're not a duck but a swan. So my job is to support you, your healing, your growth, your transformation, your evolution, to make this lifetime a lifetime that your soul can look back on and be proud of. Know that you took every advantage of this lifetime to fulfill the pattern that your soul came in on with. So if we look at this image here of a soul ready to come down, okay, there's pure intent to the flower there, to unfold, to bloom, to grow. We see that the pattern on the garment indicates they'll choose to come into a physical body of choice, and that there's an objective, a pattern that has been decided upon of what wants to be accomplished in that lifetime. And we're able to do that if we maintain our connection with spirit. You'll see that with the feather on the head. We can fulfill our destiny. We can unfold that pattern that's ours, that we've chosen, of evolution and growth and beauty, if we maintain that connection to spirit, to the source. Now, that's all very well and good when we're up there before we kind of come down. But once we get down onto the physical plane, it's not quite so easy. It's very easy to lose that connection. So as I said, my job is to support you to strengthen the relationship with soul, with your soul, so that that connection with your spirit self is optimized and enabling you to fulfill your pattern and to make this a lifetime that you can look back on. So life can be very, very confusing. Once we come into incarnation, life can be very confusing. So as I said, before we come into incarnation, we have a clear indication of our soul's objectives for that particular lifetime, the pattern of our soul's unfoldment. The soul comes in with a dream. But once we take on that physical form, a physical body, three-dimensional reality takes over and we forget what we came in to do. So why does that happen? Why do we forget the dream, the soul's objectives for each lifetime? Well, there are many reasons, and I'm just going to cover a few of them. So one, in order to incarnate, we must take a physical form. And that physical form consists of three things: our physical body, our emotional body, and our mental body. So that consists, those three things, physical body, emotional body, and mental body, make up what's called our personality self. Now, our personality self is our most weakest and vulnerable aspect of our makeup. It is very, very impressionable and malleable. At a personality level, we are easily influenced by the physical, emotional, and mental input by parents, family, relatives, schooling. We're very, very, very easily influenced at a personality level. Remember, the personality aspect of us is the part that has to engage with the world. So it's exposed to so much. Just get my dolls here. So here we are, is our personality self. That's the part that's at the coal face But it's not all of who we are, because we have other aspects to us, and right in there is our soul and our spirit. But our personality self is the part that engages with the world and is exposed to so many influences. Now, it's really important to understand that as part of our human experience, we need to be aware of and sensitive to outside influences. You know, we're not made of rock. We're human. We feel and we think. So we're very aware of external influences. What we're not so aware of is their influence on us. So invariably, as a result of external influences, outside influences, usually from others, we often will lose sight of ourselves and take on what I call energetic overlays of others. So remember, our personality part, the part that feels, the part that the clairsentient part of us, you might say. So we take on overlays. So it could be from our parents, mother, father, siblings, relatives, family, friends, expectations, conditioning. We're susceptible to the spoken or unspoken feelings of others, to the opinions of others. We're vulnerable. Personality aspect of us is very vulnerable to what others think of us and how they treat us. And in the process, we lose sight of our own pattern and our own dream. And in the process, we can often live out with others' dreams or desires or projections or definitions of us or wishes for us. In the process, we increasingly lose our connection to our own soul's dream for this life. So we live in a sea of energy. Right? We live in a sea of energy, and our personality self, this part of us, is right there in that sea of energy. And it's the clairsentient in us that feels the energy, right? That picks up on the vibrations from others and picks up on the vibrations from around us. You probably know yourself, somebody's been disproving of, you've been doing something and somebody's been disproving of that. That's the clairsentient in you that will pick up on that and immediately inevitably modify yourself, modify your behavior, because you've picked up on an overlay. So we're constantly picking up on these vibrations from others. We may not know how to interpret what we're picking up on, but we'll take it on board as our own. We don't know that it's not ours. We think it's us. So it's just an energetic overlay distorting, or vibrational overlay distorting our view. A little bit like a dirty window with muck on it, stuff we've taken on board that isn't ours, that we think is ours, that distorts our view, and we lose sight of our own dream. So how do we come back? How do we deal with that? I mean, this is a reality. Every single person is clairsentient. Whether it's to a greater or lesser degree, it doesn't matter. We are clairsentient, and we live in a sea of energy. We're constantly surrounded by a sea of energy. We're constantly surrounded by the stuff that is in that sea of energy. And it can be very hard to distinguish what is ours and what isn't ours. So as I said, first thing to understand, we're multifaceted beings. This outer facet of us is largely our personality, the outer face of who we are. It's not who we are, but to keep things on schedule today, it's not all of who we are, but to keep things on schedule today, just focusing on the personality. So remember, our personality is our spirit's interface with the world. Our personality has essentially 36 different aspects or facets to it. All 36 are useful, but all 36 can be problematical.